So I've actually wanted to make a video about like this before. I've watched a lot of movies, and so yeah, let's start in. And remember, this is my opinion. You like it, you don't, that's all you. Let's start. Okay, let's talk about how this works. Okay, the first thing you gotta know is the tiers, or what I like to call the ranking system. And yes, I know, not the most creative name, but I'll think of one later. So first one, amazing, that's 9 to 10. The next one is great, 7 to 8. Neutral, 5 to 6. Somewhat good, 3 to 4. And straight trash, 1 to 2. So next, I'm gonna tell you how I usually rank these. It's usually out of 3 things in the category. I would say first, if the story is good. The second one, how it makes the viewer feel, how it makes you feel, while you're watching it. Is it gonna make you cry? Is it gonna excite you? How I feel. Third one, how visually it looks. Like, does it have good CGI, bad CGI? Is the atmosphere? Does it make you feel like you're in the movie, Not actually, but you know what I mean. But besides that, I'm not actually a critic, as you can tell, I'm just a 16-year-old doing movie reviews right now. I did used to change the ratings on these movies a lot. So once I make the videos, the ranking will stay, it won't change. And sometimes I do rank the movies on how, if I found something dumb or if it didn't make sense. And if it did and I messed up, that's my bad. I will change the ranking. But for now, after I make the ranking and post it online, they're permanent to stay. I believe you guys understand, so let's get in. I had to press that pause button because, my God, what is going on in this opening? The child in the hospital? It just gives you a lot of questions off rip, really. It's a good start, but not enough for a 10 out of 10. Every movie I watch, I usually start at a rating of 5 and then goes up or down depending on what happens in the movie. Let's skip a little bit. Let's see that title card. This is most definitely copyrighted music, so let's, that'll work.
All the day long, hopping and a bopping and a singing his song. All the little birds on Jaybird Street love to hear the robin go tweet, 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 rockin' robin, tweet, tweet, rockin' robin.
Okay, so the first movie you probably noticed from the title, Bullet Train. We will start on this today, and next movie is probably Prisoners. So basically, before I tell you the goods and bads about this movie, let me tell you about the story. The story goes, this agent Ladybug is filling in for another agent, and he has to go into this bullet train because he believes a briefcase that he's trying to find is in there. But the reason why he's trying to find this briefcase is because he works for a secret society of agents. But in the bullet train, he finds more than just a briefcase. He finds a lot of trouble. Now, I'm not going to go too much in detail of this movie because you can watch it on your own time and I really recommend it. Remember, I'm not supposed to be a substitute for the movie. I'm simply just putting out my opinion about the movie and I'm just rating it for fun. But this leads me to my first good point about this movie that I think really raised the score and the overall rating of this movie. The characters, or mainly the amount of characters that are used. I really like the part how there's so many characters that are shown throughout the movie. Really changes things up. And the action with the characters, because this is an action movie. The backstories of characters are actually super good. The mix of these characters and the setting of the bullet train goes together really well. Some great examples are like Prince, the Wolf, the Hornet, and by far the two best characters, Lemon and Tangerine.
Everything I learned about people, I learned from Thomas.
Oh, you had to bring your sticker book, did you?
I always bring my stickers with me, you know that. Take Tangerine here. He's a Gordon. This blue one, and Gordon is the strongest, the most important, but he doesn't always listen to others.
What's that now?
I mean, some people are Edwards, wise, kind. Some are Henrys, hard-working, strong. Some people are Diesels. Fuck me.
And this brings me to my next point, the setting behind Bullet Train. And yeah, it's just a bullet train, but you're there for the whole entire runtime. And sure, we do leave the bullet train for a while, but ultimately it just surrounds the bullet train. And I argue that that's not a bad thing. Really, when people think of one setting in a movie, they usually either think it's good or super trash. And Bullet Train really does it super good. Not like but I'll talk about that another time. Anyways, back to Bullet Train. With only one setting, it wouldn't seem like they would have many options. But with utilizing the amount of carts that are in a train and using the characters' fight sequences, and with the amount of spacing of when they get out of the train, it almost makes you forget you're annoyingly in one setting. But for this movie, it wasn't annoying, especially because all the backstories that you got and many more. It makes you forget you're even in the train. And in Bullet Train, the comedy was really good. I like the jokes. Sure, not every joke landed, but the comedy was really good. So before I go talking about the bads, let me explain the action. In Bullet Train, the action is actually really good. My favorite scene is probably him jumping onto the bullet train and breaking the glass. To be fair, it's the most common scene. You've probably even seen clips of it before. But enough yapping, let's get to the bads. And here's the problem. I've sat in front of my computer for a while and thought, what were the bads for Bullet Train? And maybe this is the reason why I used to have it at a 9, but I can't really find any bads. And that doesn't mean it's a 10 out of 10 movie. It just means that nothing in the movie was necessarily bad. I mean, I could see someone getting mad or annoyed that the movie is only in a bullet train, or maybe that the story is just too big and you might get confused. But besides that, everything else is fine. From my side, I have no real complaints. Maybe something could be changed, but it was always fast, kept up the pace, and was good with an interesting story. Okay, let's get a little recap. Okay, let's talk about the first qualification. So number 1, was it a good story? I would say yes, it was. Now, I didn't share the whole entire Bullet Train story to you, but it's about betrayal, brotherhood, and mainly revenge. Now, I don't want to give you too many details about Bullet Train because I really recommend it. Now, is it the best piece of film in history? Of course not. But if you want an action comedy and you want to just relax and watch a movie, this is a good movie to watch. But now, the second qualification. How does it make you feel? I would say the movie really, I got into it really emotional. Nothing sad besides, this is how he's gonna go out. There's no way moment for that one character. And if you were going to watch the movie, go for it. Just don't worry about what I just said. But anyways, the ending fight was sick, I thought everything was pretty good. And in the fight scenes, it got me rooting for people I knew weren't gonna win, but I still was rooting for them. In the last qualification, did it immerse you? Now, this is a little dicey for me, it might be different for everyone else, but me, mentally, I couldn't really put myself into there. Especially because, this isn't like real life stuff, and I know that. But even in something like How to Train Your Dragon, which is very fictional, you can put yourself into Hiccup's shoes. But in this movie, I couldn't really do that. And at least for me, this movie kind of lacks on immersing you. Sure, you get excited when the fight scenes happen or when this and that happen, but it couldn't really immerse me. And I know this one isn't necessarily fair to this movie, especially because the average person isn't a secret agent. But yeah, this one didn't really seem fair for this movie. And I know it's not like a coming of age movie like How to Train Your Dragon, but I guess I don't have a real good excuse for this one. It's just unfair for this movie. So with all that in consideration, Bullet Train has a final score of 7.2 out of 10 in great. So if you want to watch Bullet Train, as of this recording, you can watch it on Hulu, Disney Plus, Amazon Prime, and if it's not on there, just look at your video providers. I would really recommend Bullet Train, and if you like this video and want to watch more, like and subscribe. Well, I'm off to watch a SpongeBob DVD. I'll see you next time on Salt Reviews. Bye-bye!